One of the most commonly asked questions I receive here on my channel is how to land a job as a social worker here in Australia. And that is why I am making this video today, to talk to you about some of the tips and strategies you can employ to land your first job here in Australia soon after graduating, if you're coming in here to study social work, or in some cases even before you graduate. Okay, so keep watching if you're one of those people who have asked me this question on this channel. Hello and welcome once again. My name is Chioma. On this channel, I talk about all things related to my experience of settling here in Australia, having relocated from Nigeria. So the topics that I cover are related to immigration, employment, social work, education, and social work practice, because I am a qualified social worker here in Australia and everything in between. Okay, so stay glued to this channel. I'm sure you would enjoy hanging out with me. So let's get to some of those strategies that you can employ to land your first job. So the first tip I want to share is actually closely related to your study options. If you're interested in, for example, mental health, and you want to pursue a career as a mental health social worker, then you want to make sure that you're choosing your electives wisely. You're choosing subjects and units that align with that goal. So while you're doing your research around what school to study at, and I guess at this point I am addressing people who are yet in that stage where they are still trying to figure out what school they want to attend, take a closer look at the unit offerings. So take a look at the course outline, look at the electives that are on offer, and see whether they align with your goals, okay? So that you know that you're studying towards something that would be relevant to the career you want to have as a social worker. Number two is also kind of related to that, and this is regarding your placements, because you know, as a social work student, you would have to fulfill 1,000 hours of placement here in Australia. It is a compulsory requirement. I would say you should also be very strategic around your placement opportunities. Don't be shy, okay? Talk to people, talk to your uni coordinators, talk to your lecturers, talk to the people who matter in your department regarding your placement. And these are conversations that should be happening way before the time that you're required to go on placement. I made a video about some of the supports that are necessary for you to know about and actually link into as an international student. So maybe you want to check that video out, because I also mentioned how it is important for you to strike a rapport with your lecturers and other relevant people in your school that can actually help you in your career goals, okay? Talk to whoever is in charge, or whatever, whatever department is in charge of securing placements for students. I know that some schools are flexible in the sense that they can allow you to arrange your own placements. Some other schools would be more than happy for you to kind of collaborate with the placement team, just so that you're getting placed in the place that you actually want to go to, okay? So be strategic with your placement opportunities. Number three, local experience is highly valued here in Australia, okay? So it doesn't end at just having a certificate or having a degree. Australian employers value local experience. So how can you gain local experience? By volunteering. So volunteering is another great way for you to get a foot in the door when it comes to landing your first job. So you also want to think about the areas of practice that you're interested in, and then look for volunteering opportunities in those areas. And before I move on to number four, I just want to take a moment here and ask you if you have subscribed. Have you subscribed? Hit the subscribe button, and make sure that while you're at it, you hit the notification bell as well, so that you don't miss any of my content. Okay, and please also drop in the comment section what area of practice you're interested in. If you're interested in social work and maybe you want to make a career transition into social work and you're still kind of confused what areas of practice are available, especially here in Australia, then maybe you want to check out some of my previous videos in the social work series. Yes, I have a series of social work related videos on here, and I have put it all in a playlist. So maybe you want to check out that playlist. There's a lot of information that you will find on there. Okay, so let me know in the comment section what area of specialization you're interested in as a social worker. So let's move on to tip number 4. It would also help you to find out relevant requirements and brush yourself up on the relevant knowledge that is required for you to practice in the area of specialization you're interested in. So for instance, if you want to work in the hospital, do you know that you would need to get vaccines? It might be helpful for you to arrange to have those vaccines as soon as necessary, right? Because you will not be allowed to work in a hospital if you don't have those vaccines. If, on the other hand, you want to work in a sector like domestic violence or family violence and sexual assault or child protection, then you would need to know about the relevant legislation in that area of practice. So you would need to be on top of knowledge around court processes, police reporting, forensic testing for people who have been sexually assaulted and all that kind of thing. So you may not gain all this knowledge just through your education at uni. So you would have to take that extra step to keep abreast of all the relevant legislation and policy in the area that you're interested in practicing in, okay? And a lot of these things can be found online, all right? You don't need to do any other like paid training for you to know these legislations and policies. You can find them online. And that brings me to number 5. Make out time to attend relevant webinars, but as well, there are also physical events that you might want to attend out in the community. Keep an eye out for those relevant events, and you can talk to people from your class, talk to your lecturers. A lot of them have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to practice requirements and networking and things like that. So please don't be shy. Use the time that you're going to be studying wisely. Use it strategically. Place yourself in strategic places, make strategic connections. Yes, it's all about strategy. All right. So attend relevant webinars online, attend relevant physical events. And I'm going to talk about the last and the final tip, number 6, which is for you to actually start applying before you finish your course. Okay, I am not saying you start applying as soon as you start your studies in your first year. No, towards the tail end of your course, start applying, okay? At that time where it is certain that you're going to be graduating soon, that is when you want to start applying. Don't wait until after that. If you've been doing all these things that I've mentioned, you've been volunteering, you've been attending webinars, you would have already upskilled yourself to the level where you should feel confident about your abilities when you start a new job. So don't be shy in selling yourself when it comes to putting down a strong application, okay? Because you want to land that interview. Start looking even before you graduate. It worked for me, just in case you were wondering, and it might also work for you. So those are my 6 tips on how to land your first job soon after you graduate, or in some cases even before you graduate. I hope this has made some sense, okay? And I'll see you again soon. Stay safe and bye-bye.